See, a lot of men think that their anger is a strength, and honestly, I did too for a long time until I watched it burn down almost everything in my life, right? My marriage, my relationships, my reputation. The scariest part is I didn't even know that it was happening. Like, you don't see these things occurring. And if you've ever said something that you cannot take back, if your wife walks on eggshells, if your kids go quiet when you walk into the room, then this video is for you. All right. Before we get too into it, if you don't know who I am, my name is Max Dutton. I'm a United States Marine, faith based coach, and a man who has learned the hard way that uncontrolled anger is not, in fact, power, right? It's a weakness, okay? And it's a weakness wearing a mask. And I work with men every single day who are losing everything because nobody ever taught them how to carry their fire without burning people down, right? So anger in itself is not actually your enemy. God gave you anger. Jesus flipped tables, right? David went to war. The problem isn't that you feel it. The problem is that you're letting it control you instead of you controlling it. In the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 11, it says that a fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise man quickly holds it back. That's not weakness. See, that's the most disciplined thing a man can do. Fools give full vent to his spirit. Real strength is feeling the fire and then choosing what you do with it. Any animal can react. That's what animals do. They respond and react, right? But it takes a warrior to do something differently, to be able to make decisions. So the real cause of this is probably what most people have never told you. Anger is almost never about what it looks like on the surface. The man who explodes over things like the dishes in the sink, he's not actually angry about the dishes. He's carrying unprocessed pain, unmet expectations, a wound from his father or mother, perhaps, right? A fear that you never face, unforgiveness that you've been dragging around for years. The book of Ephesians, chapter 4, verse 26 says, "Be angry and do not sin." Do not let the sun go down in your anger. That word, do not let, right? Those words tell you everything. You have a choice, but you can only make that choice if you understand what's actually the driving function of the choice, right? So there's three things that you can do that actually work that will help you control your anger. Okay, number one is identifying the trigger before the situation. Like, you already know what sets you off. Write that thing down. All right. Name it, because a man who knows what his trigger is, you can own it. A man who doesn't know is then owned by the trigger, right? What are those things that bother you? Understand them. Number two is you have to create a pause. The book of James, chapter 1, verse 19 says, "Be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger." That pause between stimulus and response is where you actually build your character. That's where your character lives. It's that space between. Okay. So train like it's a muscle. When you are in a position where you can actually find the balance there, that is where you're going to be most successful. You have to train that muscle like you're at the gym. You have to train that muscle like you know, I don't know, that's how it works, right? You have to train that muscle just like anything else. It's flexing that thing, right? When you feel it rising, stop, breathe, give yourself a minute, ask yourself what's actually happening right now. Like, figure out what's going on, okay? And then the third thing is you have to deal with the root of the issue. And this is where a lot of men get lost is, they quit here because they manage symptoms, but they never touch the wound. The anger is the smoke. The wound is the fire. So until you sit down and you face what's underneath of this, the rejection, the shame, like whatever these things are, right? The fear, unforgiveness, you're going to keep reacting. And then you'll keep apologizing. And then the cycle is going to keep costing you, right? So what are the stakes here? Like, what stakes do we face at this point, right? And I think a lot of men, they don't think about this, right? If you, if your anger has been affecting you in your marriage, your marriage now has an expiration date. Your kids are forming their understanding. I work with men every day who don't have relationships with their kids, who their wife cannot stand them. And these things are based on you. A man who doesn't deal with them doesn't just lose their temper, but they lose their families and they lose their legacy. You get one life and you're building a legacy along the way. You don't want to lose that. You don't want to lose respect. And by the time they realize it, the damage is already done. But you don't have to be that man, right? So I'm not here to shame you, and I'm not here to hurt you in any way, but I'm here to, show you that I've sat across from hundreds of men who thought they were too far gone, and honestly, I watched them completely transform when they finally got the right tools, the right brotherhood, and a coach, right, who'd been through it. This is a fixable thing, but it requires more than just this YouTube video, for example. Okay, so if you're serious about this and you're done apologizing for the same things, and you want, your family to grow with you, you're done watching them flinch, you're done being a man that you don't recognize. Here's what I want you to do right now. Okay, underneath this video in the description box, you're going to find a link where you can actually join my community, where I do 4 sessions a month, 1 session weekly. All right, coaching sessions for anger, lust, wealth, building your fitness, all these different topics to build a man to become a warrior for Christ. There's a full brotherhood here. Okay, we're talking almost 600 people as of the this video that are working together to grow. We have a full training library, and there's daily structure, daily accountability. And so if you want to go deeper, there's actually another program that's called Genesis 90 that you can get to from within there, where we sit down and we figure out how to actually build a customized plan that's going to build you mentally, physically, and spiritually as a man. If you love your wife, if you love your kids, if you want to grow in that way, then this is the time to do something. Okay. Also, make sure you guys subscribe and share this with somebody who needs it. I know that there's a lot of content in the world, right? So I appreciate you viewing here. If you need anything from me, the description has the link. Okay. God bless you, and I will see you guys inside the community.